Well, hello there guys, and welcome to my first look at Battle Brothers. This is a game I love so much that I just shot a 35-minute video that unfortunately the video codec wasn't detected, so I wasted my time. So we're going back and I'm going to try again. Anyway, this is an amazing game where you lead a company of mercenaries to try and essentially lead them to glory in any way you see fit. Now, of course, we've got a scenario over here with scenarios that you can choose to sort of learn how to fight, but I would highly recommend you guys take a look at the tutorial videos. There's about 2 or 3 that can be very helpful. On that note, let's get into a new campaign. So I chose this flag because, well, it reminds me of Portugal, and we're going to go ahead and choose the difficulty level as beginner, because quite frankly, I am a beginner in this game. I've played a little bit, but I definitely need to learn more, and this is just an incredible fight that really is quite good. You can also choose a late game crisis, war, greenskin invasion, which allows you to have all sorts of different missions. The world is randomly generated every time, which is amazing, so you're always going to find a new world with new quests, etc. So let's go ahead and start here, and as you can see, the orcs are looking pretty vicious, I must say, and we are going to try to win in Battle Brothers, guys. Okay, guys, so as you can see, it all went wrong. 2 days ago, we were hired to track down Hogger the Weasel, and unfortunately, he found us first. He basically ambushed us, killed our commander, and now he's trying to kill us. And this is, of course, the first opportunity we get to jump into a fight in-game, which is pretty great. It puts you into combat right away, and in this game, everything affects you. You can have injuries that are permanent. You can have injuries that cause you to bleed, obviously making the game much more difficult. And you also have always different starting characters, which I love. So it looks like we've got this guy, Hakon. He looks like a crossbowman, and I'm going to try to fire at the enemy right here. Now, as you can see, our chance to hit is 61% chance. That's pretty good. Fire at the Brigand Thug. We've definitely dealt some damage, and that is great. So the turn is done, but we're going to reload. And now, of course, the enemy is going to move back and start firing. I believe that's Hoggart. It is Hoggart the Weasel. Now we've, of course, got our spearman, Romold. And this guy could actually form a shield wall, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to move him up here, and I'm going to try to do some thrust damage into the enemy. We could also try to do a spear wall, but we don't have enough AP for that. So I'm going to try to thrust into this enemy with a cleaver, and we missed, unfortunately. We've got Eric. Eric is just a good old-fashioned lumberjack slash man killer, and we're gonna split man the enemy here, the Brigand Thug, with a 64% chance to hit. Also, you guys can see all of the different things that affect him. He's untouched. He's a little dented, his armor. He's also bruised, but overall he's surrounded, and this lowers his overall morale, which really affects his abilities in combat. So let's go ahead and try to kill him. Oh no, we got unlucky. Now the enemy's gonna move forward and try to attack us. So it looks like they missed too. But here they actually managed to hit us and did some damage to Eric. He's actually bleeding. So we definitely need to fix that. And usually to fix the bleeding, we typically use bandages. So I'm going to go ahead and fire here on the Brigand Thug. 64% chance to hit. We missed. No, we're not doing very good with this first battle. And now, of course, we move on to our next unit. And the turn here, we'll try to thrust damage into the enemy. 85% chance to hit, and he is surrounded. There we go. We definitely got through, but it looks like he's pretty strong, pretty resilient. But now you can see he's definitely pretty hurt as well. So we're going to try to split man. I don't see a shield in his hand, so I won't try to knock his shield out. And there we go. We actually killed him, and you can see his head flew off. So that was a decapitated attack. Amazing. And we're also going to move forward with Eric so that the enemy is surrounded. Of course, since Eric is bleeding, I think we do need to provide some sort of help for him before he basically bleeds out. I will reload, and I could try to fire at the enemy, but we have a chance of hitting Eric. So I'm going to get over here and flank the enemy as best I can, and I'm also going to thrust attack into him right here. We actually managed to damage him, and if we can do it again, I think we can kill this guy. As you can see, he's got a crushed windpipe. That's some serious damage. Boom! Dead. Good work, boys. Now the loot we got here, we got a flail, and we also got this butcher's cleaver. So we're going to take both of these things. Over here in our stash, we also have bandages, which we can use to, help our bleeding men, and we've got provisions, because in this game, provisions are very important. So, you're alive, you won. The adrenaline fades in its wake, but you can't help but sink back to the ground. Gritting your teeth, you snap the arrow's shaft, your chest heaves, pain for breath, everything blurs. The company has been devastated. cut down to but a few men, and that bastard Hugger did justice to his name, fleeing like the weasel he is. "What now, Captain?" a voice says from behind. It's Eric, who sits down beside you, bedding his bloodied axe on his legs. You turn to him to reply, but before you can answer, he continues. "Bernhardt's dead. They slit his throat. He was a good man and a damn good leader, but all it took was one mistake. That makes you the one in charge now, doesn't it?" Hakon joins the two of you, still breathing heavily, then Rummel the Falcon. "Save the ceremony and anointments for another day. Let's give the men a good burial and return to Strohdorf to collect our plan." Like I told you, this game is randomly generated. So when I had a previous campaign, it wasn't called Strohdorf, it was called Lugenheim, which is kind of cool how that changes. And I also didn't start in this part of the world, which is in the south, in the steppes. I started sort of in the middle, which is a more foresty area. And of course, to the far north, you've got ice. I mean, it's just incredible how much detail went into this game. So we're of course going to go ahead and get to Strohdorf, and hopefully we get our pay. Okay, what a sorry display it must be for the onlookers as you arrive in Strohdorf. We just let the guy know that we killed his men, but the weasel eluded our blades in the end. The healer, of course, is going to go ahead and try to fix our wounds. You did well, Sellsword. The brigands have been removed, though it is a shame that Hoggart still lives. We expect to get paid for this. Now he gave us 400 crowns, and what he's essentially offering us here, as you can see, is he wants us to go and kill that bastard Hoggart, but it's up to us. And this is one of the great things about the game. You can make decisions however you see fit. You could go ahead and ignore this guy and say, "I'm not really interested," and move on with your life, or we could try to get another 400 crowns, which we need, and yes, we have unfinished business with Hoggart. So, excellent. My little birds will need to find some time where Hoggart is hiding is hiding his hide now. In the meantime, I suggest you see about stocking up on supplies so that you'll be good and ready when the time comes. Pretty good advice from this man. And I also think that we should probably look for more men. We need more men, Captain. I know I gave a big speech back there, but bravado won't do shite. We need more warm bodies in the ranks. Figure we can find 3 good men, buy them some decent weapons, and dress them in the best armor we can afford. The man pauses to look around. I bet this Bodungstown got a desperate peasant or two looking for a new life, or we could travel to Gelburg in the southwest. Them city folk aren't always as hardy as these country bumpkins, but we're more likely to find men with fighting experience, stopping to rest there. So we could go to Gelburg to get men, or we could try to hire some men here. So I'm going to recruit at least 3 more men. I think I'm going to trust the country folk. And depending on how they do, well, no, these guys are really country folk. They have absolutely no armor with them, and that's unfortunately not something I can deal with right now. Very little fighting experience, so it does look like we should go to Gelburg. Hopefully we don't come onto any fights on the way, and I want to make sure that our guy who's bleeding gets the attention he needs. Light wounds, okay. So he is bleeding, but after 2 days, he's going to be just fine. And we're also going to give him some bandages. I don't know if he can actually use them right now, but probably something to consider. Also, this reinforced wooden flail can be sold for quite a lot, or we could also give it to one of our men as a weapon. I think I'm going to sell it and try to get some extra cash, and maybe eventually we'll give it to one of our new men. Maybe we'll do that, or we'll try to get some money. That's probably what I think I'm more interested in. I'm hoping we don't meet any brigands on the road, but that's certainly a possibility in this game, to meet brigands, to meet enemy forces on the road, and have to deal with stuff. Never been to Gelburg before, but I've been around ones that are a lot like it. Cities like these are great for selling goods and all, but these prissy, pompous pricks love to have their goods delivered. With so many merchants, you can find almost everything you need too. Keep an eye out for bargains, and don't get swindled by them cutthroat merchants. So, pretty interesting stuff here. One thing that you should consider is trading is a part of the game. You could be a trader. You could actually purchase goods from different parts of the world, go to other parts of the world where people require these goods, and sell them and make some money in the meantime. So, definitely going to keep that in mind, but let's get to Gelburg. You can see that a lot of these cities look different. This is more of a military fortification, but let's make sure that we can hire some men. So, Dietrich Turncloak. Well, on a lengthy military campaign, Dietrich felt that there was too much marching and too little spoils to be had. So he and several others disbanded in protest. By total luck, Dietrich has thus far gotten away with his crime, but now broken penniless, he seeks a return to his former field. Now you can see the price for these guys. Guys like Hakon are an extremely good warrior, but he's very expensive, and actually almost all of these guys are expensive. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to get Reiner the Short, a quiet and grim man. We're going to hire him, and we're going to hire Dietrich as well. So now we've grown our company a little bit more. It's obviously not It's not perfect, but it's acceptable. I'd also like to go to the armor and possibly stock up on some armor, maybe get some new weapons, just in case we have to go back and hire some of those peasants, let's be honest. So let me keep the reinforced flail. I think the peasant can use that, but this is expensive stuff. I mean, you can see that we can't afford all of this. I'm going to get a shield. I'm going to get maybe a helmet, maybe not, maybe no helmet. Maybe he can do without one. And I think considering the amount of cash we have, I'm not so sure we should get it for him. We should get padded leather armor, or of course a mail shirt for $878. I'm going to get padded leather armor and hope that we have enough gold to even purchase one of the peasants. So of course we leave, recruit at least 3 more men, and buy weapons and armor for your men. Okay, visit Gelberg Southwest. No, we've already visited. It's an objective we've completed. Now we need to go and recruit 1 more man from Stroldorf. Of course, we could go to any other village and recruit them as well. But let's go to Stroldorf for now and see if we can get one of these farmers to join us. And this guy, Karsten, bullies in Karsten's spriteful youth forged him into a man that prefers to seek out a fight, rather than wait for it to come to him. Although he became an undefeated prize fighter, he is hardly earning enough to get by. Very low on crowns and barely able to open his broken hands to hug his own son, much less throw a punch, Karsten seeks a new career. Well, I think we can help you out, Karsten. We're going to hire him, of course, but we're going to need to go ahead and give him some weapons. So let's go to Karsten here, and let's hook him up with a new setup here. So we'll give him padded leather armor. We'll give him either this flail or this butcher's cleaver. I think the flail is more useful, although the durability isn't great on it. So we definitely need to improve that. We'll give him a shield, and right now he's going to have to just be happy with that. Sorry, we're not wealthy, so you're going to have to be happy with just that. So here we go. Guruf the Elder is pacing back and forth when you find him. The healer who damn near killed you with the fire poke is standing nearby. He's picking chunks of dried blood out of his fingernails. Gareth the Elder claps his hands. Finally, you're here. I have good news. We got hold of one of Hoggart's former men. My good friend here had a nice talk with the man, and now I know where Hoggart's licking his wounds. In other words, I think the healer tortured the hell out of him. The healer clears his throat, splaying his fingers out like a maiden looking to paint them. He speaks as though he's identifying a disease about to excise. The brigand known as Hoggart is hiding in a small hut in the steppe east of here. Based upon my most civil discussion with one of his men, Hoggart knows the Battle Brothers on his heels and will have gathered more men since you last met him. So guys, we've got to go kill Hoggart. You can see his I guess you can call it his lair over here to the east. This is going to be a fight that I really hope we can win. Maybe we could have gotten another guy in the company, but I think right now we need to accept what we have. And as you can see, this Eric is wounded right now, and I don't like that. It's 34 of 61, so I'm actually going to camp out here. We have enough provisions to get by, and I'm going to wait a day or two so that he can recover his wounds correctly, and we don't have to worry about having a wounded soldier during this fight. So we are going to wait till day 3, and you can see as this goes on, the provisions go down, not to mention that we have a daily pay. So we pay out 73 crowns per day to our men. That's definitely something to consider, and definitely something that is going to affect us as we gain more men in the company. Obviously, more men, more experienced men, more money. That's just the way it works. So we're going to go ahead and forge forward very soon here. But I want to make sure he's fully healed, and I believe he is. Awesome. So he's looking pretty good. In fact, all the guys are looking pretty good, and we probably could actually have bought some better armor for some of these men. But we're going to go forge into battle with just the bare essentials, and hopefully be able to kill Hoggart. If we do, then we get 400 crowns on completion. We've got brigands chasing us. Well, actually, they're running from the First Gelberg Company, who are basically our allies. So, not really allies, but they're a neutral faction. So, we're going to attack Hoggart's refuge, guys. We spot a few brigand thugs and a brigand poacher. Let's engage. Hopefully, we kill this guy and get those 400 crowns. But each battle is different, and you never really know. So this is one opportunity, is if we get up here on top, we actually will be able to have a better line of sight, and overall we'll be able to get a better shot on the enemy. So let's see how this goes. Again, I could also just try to shoot now. If I have a decent chance, 52% chance to hit isn't bad, I might go for it. So I'm going to go for it. It's basically 1 out of 2. Oh, come on, you've let me down. Let's reload. And now the enemy's going to fire, and they actually managed to get a hit almost immediately on us. And Hoggart the Weasel is moving forward as well. So we need to go ahead and focus now. Move forward with Dietrich. And we might even get a thrust attack here on the Brigand. Let's go for it. 75% chance to hit. Beautiful. And as you can see, he's got a grazed neck and he's wavering. This is definitely a bonus. We could also try to fire directly at Hoggart with our crossbowmen, or we could fire at Dietrich, but we risk hitting our own man. So I'm going to go ahead and fire at Hoggart with Rainer. We actually got a hit. Not a very good one, but a hit is a hit. And now this new guy, Karsten, is going to move forward as well. So I'm going to put him over here, try to take on the enemy Brigand. And we could lash, try to hit the opponent's head, or we could go for just a regular flail attack. I want to see, that's 59% chance to hit, and this is 59% chance to hit as well. Let's go for the lash. Oh, we missed, unfortunately. We're going to move up now with our spearmen, and I hope we get an attack, but I don't think we do, but at least our men are basically standing by each other, trying to, of course, provide support to one another, and hopefully everything will be just fine. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I guess we can move right up. So we'll move right up on them here, surrounding the enemy. And as you can see, that actually affected his morale. It's actually going to make him start wavering. Now, we could bandage ourselves or do first aid. It removes the bleeding status effect, but doesn't really increase our health in this battle. So I think I'm going to keep this guy... I don't want to say back, but yeah, back, basically. Maybe we'll put him back here, but I don't want him attacking, honestly. And he is bleeding. I didn't even realize. We might want to bandage that up. We've also got an attack here with our bolt, with our crossbowmen. 46% chance to hit. And the shield stopped the hit. Not great. Let's reload. And of course now it's our spearman's turn to do some damage. We're going to try to thrust into this brigand that's already pretty badly hurt. Or we could go straight for Hoggart. But I think it's better to hit the brigand. We did get a hit. Let's see if we can get a kill. Beautiful. And as you can see, these guys started wavering because of that hit. That's definitely a good bit of news. And I'm going to move forward here and go straight for Hoggart. Right now, he is the most dangerous enemy we're facing. So we've got to try to get him. You missed. The enemy has missed their shot. This guy is also wavering, and wavering reduces his ability in combat, but he's got to give himself first aid so that he doesn't bleed out. And then maybe we can go ahead and try to get as close to the enemy as possible, try to surround them, and that, of course, drops their morale. So I'm going to get Rainer to try and get up on this step so that we get some better shots at the enemy. Looks like this guy, the Brigand Thug, tried to do some damage to us, but failed miserably. And this uses 4 AP. They both use 4 AP. So I think we're going to go for, let's see. Okay, so this could actually ignore armor. So can this. Ignores the bonus to melee defense granted by shields. I'm going to go for the flail. Oh man, you got to get better at fighting. I thought you were a good fighter. There we go. We hit, but the shield did protect. So now we're going to go for a bolt shot against Hoggart, and that would be a 27% chance to hit. If we fire here at the Brigand Poacher, we have a 42% chance to hit. I think we're going to go fire at the Brigand Poacher. The fact is, the odds of logic are this is a better chance, so we should take it. Now, we did miss, but we can see that the enemy is faltering quite a lot. And now we can get another shot with this guy. And 47% chance to hit once again. And a miss! Not our day, is it? No, it doesn't look like it. But we still have an attack here, so I'm going to move forward, and I'm going to try to split the shield of Hoggart. Obviously, this would really reduce his ability to fight, and looks like we succeeded. Now, let's take Dietrich and go for some attacks with this spear. Boom! We hit Hoggart once, hit Hoggart twice, and as you can see, Hoggart he's definitely wavering. That's a good thing. And now we're going to use Romold to go for a thrust on Hoggart. Woo! Look at this, guys. He's got a pierced side. That's a serious wound. And if we can hit him one more time, we might be able to kill Hoggart the Weasel. Boom! Hoggart the Weasel is dead. But of course, our mission's not over. His men will usually fight to the death. Sometimes they will, of course, run. But I don't see that happening here. And we actually managed to hit the enemy. He's breaking, as you can see. So his morale is terrible. And that really basically makes him almost totally ineffective in combat. There we go. We hit him again. He's badly injured now, and he has died. I don't even know how he died. He just kind of, I guess he bled out maybe. And now, of course, we have to chase this brigand poacher. I'm going to try to get as close as we can. I'm going to get this crossbowman up on the step. Let's see if we can fire from here. I hope we don't hit our own men. 42% chance to hit. Yes, good shot. And it looks like he's got an injured shoulder. We'll, of course, fix that crossbow or reload. And now we'll move forward with Romolt. With his shield, it really makes him a lot more effective in not getting hit. As for Eric here, I do worry that he will get killed, but if we surround this crossbowman, as you can see, he's wavering again, and I will move forward Karsten, the villager, actually become a pretty good fighter. And as you can see, the enemy retreats and we were victorious, guys. And look at all the loot. A bunch of roots and berries for our provisions, some dried fruits. We got some ammunition. We got some weapons as well. And I think I want to give a bow to one of my crossbowmen. I hope they can use it because it's just, to me, it's a somewhat better weapon. You can fire twice in one turn. And some amber shards worth 260 gold as well as just 79 gold. So this is really good. We're going to loot all items, of course. We're going to leave. And now we can hopefully collect our gold. Hogard lies dead in a pool of his own blood, skewered in a grotesque and panicked pose. He didn't weasel his way out of this one. You put a boot on his corpse and look to your men. For the company, for all the men who've fallen. Hakon spits on the dead man's face. Let's take this bastard's head and get back to Strohdorf. So pretty awesome right there. We're going to go ahead and get back to Strohdorf, hopefully get our pay, and who knows, maybe even make some extra gold. Sometimes you can actually sort of, not necessarily threaten, but you can you can kind of suggest to your employer that they should pay you more, and sometimes they do, which is a really neat mechanic. So here we go. It looks like the Gelberg company is fighting the Strohdorf militia. That's strange. I'm not going to mess with them. And here we go, the return to Strohdorf. The company returns to Strohdorf as victors. So as we can see, we got paid 400 crowns. That's absolutely great. And now we basically can go along and look for other jobs, look for other opportunities to make some money. I do want to look at the men here. It looks like Torkul is not too expensive, and he's got his own weapon, which is a big start for us. So we're going to hire Torkul to join our band of fighters. Now we've got 7 of 20, and of course now we go out searching for quests. They usually appear up here in the upper left corner. We could also just go out, kill brigands, and try to make money that way, but I think the idea of the game is really to try to explore the world you're in, and you know, try to make as much cash and as formidable a mercenary company as you can. You can also gain skills for your warriors. Obviously they can have lasting wounds and all sorts of things, but this game is just so massive and so awesome in my opinion that there's really just too much to explain. There's just a lot here and a lot to be discovered. So here we go. Contracts locks. Only contracts by the noble house owning this fortification are available here. We'd probably want to go ahead and leave and try to find a better location, maybe a village, something like that, that is more to, you know, more supportive of us, essentially. I could also try to get a heater shield for one of our men. Not a bad idea. I think I'm going to just get a wooden shield here, and we will go ahead and go to our men. And let's check Dietrich. There's your wooden shield, son. You've earned it. And also Eric. Unfortunately, he's using a two-handed axe, so we're not going to be able to give him the wooden shield. What about this fellow here, Torki? He can take a wooden shield. And as for our bowman here, I am going to give him arrows. Now, he's got a quiver of bolts, which means that it's not going to go well with the arrows. So we need to purchase some arrows. So for now, he can keep his light crossbow, but that's definitely something I want to do. And I also want to sell these amber shards in town for some extra money. So we can actually go to the market, sell the amber shards, make some cash. Why not? Let's go ahead. And now we've got 633, not bad. And we've got a few weapons here that I don't think we're going to really need to use, especially not the wooden stick. So we'll sell them back. They're pretty useless. This one is also pretty useless, the butcher's cleaver, and so is these leather wraps, which we're not going to need anyway. But the bow, I think we want to use it eventually. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed. Oh my God, 666. That's scary. If you guys enjoyed this game, let me know in the comments down below, because I really do want to, keep playing this. I would love to do a campaign on it, but I'm not going to do it unless you guys approve. So, like I said, let me know in the comments down below. Let's see if we can't make this a regular series, and hopefully a successful one. Let me go ahead and also give this cap to one of the men. I think they deserve it. We'll give it to Dietrich. There you go, Dietrich. Enjoy your new cap. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you really enjoyed, make sure to hit that like button, comment down below, and if you're new, subscribe to this channel. We're a strategy channel. We're always trying to come up with new series to do. We find new games all the time, and I really want to keep that up. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Take care, and have an awesome, awesome day.